Hello, Dr. Greg again, and this video is going to be about vitamin D as well, but now we've looked at a couple of research papers in terms of looking at vitamin D levels in terms of breast cancer, and we talked about other things like autoimmune disease, uh, colon cancer, and what have you, and how certain levels of vitamin D have been associated with an increased incidence of those types of cancers or autoimmune diseases, and certain higher levels of vitamin D have actually shown that it reduces the risk of cancer in some individuals. So what the tipping point seems to be is that 50 level of 50 on vitamin D. So we know that the lab normals, they call normal vitamin D levels, are 35 to 50. So 50 is safe, but we see the research is showing that things 50 and above have a beneficial impact on all these parts of our body. Now, I'm going to talk a couple of more interesting articles about research papers about vitamin D, but I wanted to sort of get to the point, what do we do about these vitamin D levels? So we also know that there is research out there saying that 120 units of vitamin D or 125 is probably on the dangerous side of vitamin D levels. There are some people that say 100 is perfectly fine. So you have a range like 35 to 50, which is about 20, 15, a range of 15. So I'm saying I am betting on 50 to 75 as being a very safe range for vitamin D and actually a very beneficial range for vitamin D. So what does that mean? You want to know, how much vitamin D should I take every day? Well, first off, vitamin D shouldn't be taken every day. It's a fat-soluble vitamin, so it doesn't need to be taken every day. But it also depends, the level of vitamin D you take depends upon your number. So I behoove you to get a vitamin D test from your doc. Find out what your level is. And then what you want to do is you want to experiment. So you have to look at what kind of sunlight are you getting, what kinds of foods are you eating. And in another video, I'm going to talk about the foods that benefit vitamin D absorption. Now, the best way for you to get vitamin D is to eat it or to get by the sun. Supplementation is only necessary if you're not getting enough vitamin D from the foods you eat or you're not getting outside enough. Now, that would be in the wintertime, or even now when we're all locked in, we're not getting outside as much as we need to. So the vitamin D levels you take depends upon your numbers, your value. So if you're over 50 in terms of your vitamin D, I'd leave it alone. If you're under 50, I would start thinking about, how am I going to increase that? So some people say 5,000 every day. I think 5,000 international units of vitamin D every day is not an everyday thing. Remember, I said vitamin D is fat soluble, so it doesn't have to be taken every day. But it is easier to take it every day. You get into a habit. Now, some people say 10,000 every other day. Some people say 1,000 a day. It all depends upon you and your values. And what's going to happen is you get your vitamin D levels taken, and let's say you're under 50. I have to get it over 50. So I'm going to take, let's say you're going to say, I'm going to try and take 5,000 every other day. You do that for a couple of months, 2 to 3 months, then you get it taken again to see if it actually impacted your vitamin D levels. Because some vitamin D is not absorbed. You might have an absorption problem, you might have a food problem, you might have a sun problem. There could be lots of issues, and that needs to be found out. And there's no way of finding that out unless you try something, and it has to be tested. So vitamin D testing is not that bad. It's a blood test. It can be quick. So to get the vitamin D levels right, I think we need to find out, or you need to find out, what your levels are. This is Dr. Greg, changing the way we look at health.